So let me officially welcome everyone today. This is the 24th annual Northern Virginia Leadership Awards. And while we miss having you in person, we're so grateful that you're here today to honor some very special people. You know, this is what we are all about here at Leadership Fairfax. We come together to develop, connect, and inspire community leaders. And our ultimate goal is to help create and sustain a community where everyone is welcome and everyone has the opportunity to thrive. But today we're here to celebrate, we're here to celebrate the selfless dedication and accomplishments of individuals and organizations whose work is central to our mission. Last year, we added a new award called the COVID-19 Hero Award. We thought it was going to be just for 1 year and then we'd be done with this. Of course, we know better. The lasting impact of this pandemic is still hitting us strong. And the work of the individuals and organizations we will honor today is more important than ever. They have been able to continue to do their work, be creative in the way they approach the work, and build their organizations even in the face of all of the challenges. Each and every one of them is a COVID hero. Now, during COVID, we've been busy here at Leadership Fairfax as well. We pivoted to online training and continue to hold our regular classes, ELI and LFI, but we've also added some new programs. Our Board and Brew board matching program continues to connect people with nonprofit boards, thanks to the generous support of Dominion Energy. We added a new program this year, a teen leadership camp. It was supposed to be in 2020, and we changed it to a workshop. And it was really lovely. For those of you that are alums of our program, you know that the deep dive that we do with all of our coaches and trainers really changes the way you look at the world and also helps you develop those really deep relationships. Well, when we ran this pilot, we were so pleased to see that just over a long weekend, we were able to help juniors and seniors in high school discover these same things that you all did when you were in our program. So the pilot went great. We kicked off to 5 stars, and we will be moving that all over the county in the next year. Additionally, thanks to Fairfax County, we have a new program that we are standing up, and it is a youth leadership network. So it really helps us bookend the work that we're doing. As most of you know, we have a program now for people who are retiring as well. So we're starting young, and we are continuing to work with folks all the way into retirement, trying to cover all of our bases. So let's get going here. I'd like to first thank all of our sponsors and partners who are with us today and who support us all throughout the year. Our annual partners, Navy Federal Credit Union, Walsh, Colucci, Lubelai, and Walsh, the Reston Community Center, TD Bank, Veach Commercial Real Estate, Reston Association, Allegra Marketing Print and Mail Service, Training Solutions, Fairfax Public Access, and Langley Residential Support Services. And then for today's event, I'd like to also thank our sponsors who stepped up. We're so grateful. Our title event sponsor is the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. Our award sponsors, Reston Community Center, Friends of Cornerstones, Apple Federal Credit Union, Fed Riders, Wolf Trap, Table 13, Walsh, Colucci, Lubelai, and Walsh, and Skycom. Oh, and one more, Kevin Greenleaf, Douglas Tyson, and CA Catherine Nelson Consulting. Thank you all so much for your generous support. And in addition to our actual sponsors, I could not be more pleased and touched that several people in the room today, in fact, many people in the room today, stepped up and made donations to our scholarship fund in the name of the honorees today. Our scholarship fund is so important because we don't want any of our programs to be out of reach for anyone. We know that it is so important to the credibility of our programs as well as the depth, is to make sure that the diversity of the folks that are in our program is wide and deep. So if you would like to honor one of the honorees today and make a donation, we would graciously appreciate that as well. And I'm sure Kristen will put a link in the chat for you to use. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of our board and the CEO of Varcom Solutions, Danny Vargas. Danny, take it away.
Karen, thank you so very much for that warm introduction. And I want to say good morning and thank you to everyone for joining us today. You know, before we begin our comments here, I just want to make sure we take a moment to remember the folks that are dealing with the tragic situation that's happening in Europe right now, in the Ukraine. There are a lot of people that are suffering right now, that are losing their lives. So if we can keep them in our thoughts and our prayers, I think that would be appropriate. It also reminds us of the fact that it takes positive leadership to be able to get us to a place of peace and prosperity for all of our neighbors. That's what Leadership Fairfax is all about making sure that we can create an environment where we are providing the tools, the resources, and the tutelage to be able to create the leaders of the future, so that we can all prosper and all of our neighbors, all of our family members can see justice and fairness, and they have the opportunity to breathe air that is filled with opportunity, unity, safety, and joy. And we're doing that together. We're doing that as we begin to shift the priorities of our organization. We just had a strategic planning retreat recently with our board of directors. You'll be hearing more about that in the coming days and weeks. And speaking of our board of directors, none of this would be possible without the hard work of our board members. I'd like to recognize many of them that are on with us today and those that couldn't join us. First of all, my partner in crime, our vice chair, Cynthia Bailey with Fairfax County. Our secretary, Dominic Guanajuato, with Innova Health, Catherine Nelson, our treasurer, our immediate past chair, Kim Stewart with Stepping Stones, Mira Ahmed with Washington Gas, Stephanie Berkowitz with Northern Virginia Family Service, Bill Bowie, Sky Communications, Jim Eganrider from Virginia Tech, Jonathan LaCroix with Cox, Emily Halubowicz with American Heart Association, Susan Parr with Fed Writers, Juan Rangel with Northern Virginia Cigarette Tax Board, Marie Robles with Northwest Federal Credit Union, Lynn Strobel with Washington Colucci, Britt Block with Navy Federal Credit Union, Kerry Wilson with Cornerstones, Cindy Benavides with LULAC, represented today by Lucas Martinez, Scott Price from Dominion Energy, and former board chairs, Kevin Greenleaf and Huey Battle. I just want to thank them for all of their hard work and dedication, and to make sure that we have an organization that continues to thrive. And I want to thank our staff under the leadership of Karen Cleveland, who's been a phenomenal presence for the organization, and all of our staff members. If you can raise your hands so everyone can see you, we've got the best staff in the entire region. So I want to thank them for all of their hard work. And I want to thank the commitment of all of our volunteers as well during these challenging times. We know it's been difficult running a program that has been around for 30 years, but has had to pivot during times of COVID. So between the staff and our volunteers, we still are able to put forth an outstanding program. And with that, I think we can begin with our awards program. It's my distinct honor, privilege, and pleasure to be able to recognize our outstanding leaders in the Northern Virginia region. Our first award is the Nonprofit Leadership Award. And to present that award, please welcome board member Douglas Tyson from Leadership Fairfax class of 2015 and Assistant Superintendent, Fairfax County Public Schools, to present this award.
Thank you very much, Danny. We are extremely pleased and proud this morning to be able to award the 2021 Nonprofit Organization Award to the Literary Council of Northern Virginia. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Thank you very much. Literacy is a survival skill in Northern Virginia. 1 in 17 of our adults do not speak English proficiently, and 51% of Fairfax County elementary school students live in homes where English is not the primary language. The ability to read, write, speak, and understand English is essential for low-income, beginning-level English learning immigrants to gain employment, access information, manage their health, and support their children's learning. This is even more acute with the rise of COVID-19, the closing of our schools in many cases, the isolation of social distancing, which we talked about earlier, and the imperative for individuals to recognize health symptoms and know when to seek professional help. The Literary Council of Northern Virginia regularly teaches adults the basic skills of reading, writing, speaking, and understanding English so that their members can access employment and educational opportunities and more fully and equitably participate in the community. The Literary Council of Northern Virginia serves over 1,500 low-income, linguistically isolated immigrants, nearly all of whom identify as people of color each year. They are members of our communities that experience isolation and poverty and have long suffered the societal, systemic, social, and economic inequities. This disparity, as we all know, has been exacerbated by this pandemic. After this pandemic struck, the Literary Council of Northern Virginia quickly pivoted to offer live virtual learning platforms to connect and instruct our students online. What they found was that many students were lost, confused, and did not know what resources were available to aid them in this time of crisis. And who knew that this time of crisis would last so long? An added benefit of the Literary Council of Northern Virginia's ability to provide virtual learning experiences where they have regular and continued contact with our students was and is the ability that Northern Virginia created a resource page on its website for information in simplified English on food banks, financial aid, healthcare, and more. Equal to the benefits of the instruction that students are receiving is the sense of community and connectedness that is created during this time of isolation, helping them to cope with what is happening and aiding our parents who are now faced with online teaching for their children. One student stated that the Literary Council of Northern Virginia said, quote, "You light our path out of darkness." For their support and some of our most vulnerable, and for their creativity in adapting their mission to meet the growing need, Leadership Fairfax is extraordinarily proud and recognizes the Literary Council of Northern Virginia as the Nonprofit Leader of the Year. Accepting the Literacy Council award this year is the Executive Director, RuPaul Sarin. Let's give a nice round of applause.
Thank
RuPaul,
you.
please.
Thank you so much. As you said, I am the Executive Director, and I am honored to accept this award on behalf of our mighty staff of 15 and the more than 500 volunteers who work with us every year to deliver this English language instruction to, as you said, more than 1,500 adults annually. We also are thrilled to congratulate all the other organizations and individuals being honored today. We are so privileged to work side by side with so many great organizations across the county that come together to plan and implement programs to serve those who need support, all while getting the chance to celebrate the amazing diversity in our area. Our students come from 90 different countries and speak 50 different languages. Our learners are our neighbors, and teaching them English really helps them to get better jobs in the workforce, makes them more able to help their children in school, and allows them to participate more fully and equitably in the community. Last year, due to COVID, we had reformatted our English classes to offer them virtually, teaching our teachers to instruct via Zoom and having volunteers work with our learners to help them become more comfortable using technology to attend classes. By the end of the year, we reopened several of our in-person sites, but realized that for many, the convenience of taking class without having to physically go anywhere or find childcare made a lot of our offerings more accessible. As a result, we are now and for the foreseeable future planning to continue to offer both in-person and virtual classes. We've also piloted the addition of computer literacy to our curriculum, knowing that this will also be helpful for our learners. This is a huge undertaking for our small staff, but we are committed to continuing to find ways to provide the best possible service to our students and to the communities. Thank you so much, Leadership Fairfax, for this honor and for shining the light on LCNV's work.
Congratulations, Rubel, and all of your colleagues at the Literary Council. Your work serves as an example for all nonprofits, and it's an inspiration to all of us. So thank you so very much, and congratulations once again. Our next award is the Corporate Leadership Award. Please welcome Stephanie Berkowitz, who was an ELI graduate in class of 2003. If I'm not mistaken, that might be the first class. And she's the CEO of Northern Virginia Family Service, to present the Corporate Leadership Award. Stephanie, thanks very much, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Danny. And yes, ELI 03 was the inaugural ELI class. I am so honored to be here with you all this morning to present this award to such a deserving partner of ours and a supporter of so many organizations throughout this community. NVFS is so proud to nominate Deloitte, and we are grateful that the selection committee agreed that they should be recognized today. Deloitte believes so deeply that corporate social responsibility is core to their mission, and they act on these values every single day. So Deloitte and NVFS have sustained a strong partnership over so many years because of Deloitte's consistent efforts to prioritize and cultivate the relationship. And the partnership has grown from an annual day of volunteer service to a dynamic year-round effort that includes board participation, event sponsorship, employee volunteering, in-kind collection drives, strategic skills-based projects. I could honestly talk all day about the myriad ways that Deloitte partners both with Northern Virginia Family Service and with so many organizations in this region in all aspects and all domains of the operation of the business. Deloitte is always focused on seeking creative and innovative solutions to help address some of the challenges that NVFS and our community are facing. For example, most recently, they embarked on a skills-based project to investigate why our Hunger Resource Center, which provides emergency food assistance to thousands of families each year, and has historically served over 90% Hispanic families, despite the fact that food insecurity impacts a far-reaching across our community, a wide demographic. So we wanted to understand how we could reach the underserved communities and what we could be doing differently. And the Deloitte team stepped in, they researched population density, they looked at demographics to get an understanding of the current state. They facilitated focus groups across a wide range of our community partners and program participants. And through this work, Deloitte's team of volunteers was able to identify the root challenges that were limiting accessibility to our Hunger Resource Center and devised a number of solutions to more effectively reach populations that were being underserved. They led this project with a clear vision, which included perspectives from the community members that NVFS was trying to reach. And this resulted in a treasure trove of data analysis and action steps that we can now implement to better meet the need. And they showed up week after week after week with energy and smiles and encouragement and ideas and vision. And we can't be more thrilled to partner with Deloitte. Deloitte is always eager to provide the support needed and to mobilize teams of volunteers to advance the strategic goals of so many nonprofits with whom they work. They truly embody what it means to be a true corporate partner. And it is my true pleasure this morning to present the 2021 Corporate Leadership Award to Deloitte. And Allison Solomon from the Corporate Citizenship Division of Deloitte will be accepting the award. Congratulations, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. It's so good to see you. I hope to see you soon in person. And we are just so honored to receive this award from Leadership Fairfax. And it's our privilege to be alongside so many other incredible nominees this morning. I, of course, extend our deepest gratitude to our friends at Northern Virginia Family Service for this nomination. Our long-term collaboration continues to demonstrate to the community the art of the possible when business and philanthropy comes together. Indeed, here at Deloitte, under direction from our new Chief Purpose Officer, we're committed to leveraging our role as an anchor employer to drive pillars of equity, sustainability, and trust in the communities where we live and work, which of course is here at Northern Virginia. Alongside organizations like NVFS, we've been proud to support critical initiatives from ongoing COVID relief and vaccine awareness drives to providing job training and financial literacy programs to families across the region. You'll see in our photos here today, that's from our 2019 Day of Service called Impact Day. And we're really excited to bring this Day of Service back for our employees and our nonprofit partners in a new hybrid model in terms of volunteerism here in the world. In conclusion, there really is no limit that we can reach when we work together. And we thank everyone here for this honor and for recognizing us in this way. Thank you.
Congratulations, Allison, and your entire team at Deloitte. You and your colleagues have been making an impact for years, and we thank you so much. Keep up the great work, please. Our next award is the Regional Leadership Award. I would like to invite Kim Stewart, Leadership Fairfax Class of 2017 of Stepping Stones Consulting, and our immediate past chair to present this award. Kim?
Thank you, Danny. It is indeed my great privilege to present the Regional Leadership Award to Faith Bocher. Excuse me, 1 second. Her nominator is Brittany Bayless of Scan, Virginia. And you may not recognize Faith's name, but I have no doubt that you have seen the results of her efforts as Faith, Virginia. Wait until you hear the list. Faith had a vision to establish a movement where women connected with each other, learned about needs in their community, and to take action to support the local nonprofits making a difference. Faith saw the huge gaps in need that existed in our communities on one side, and on the other side, she saw a community of women who wanted to help, but didn't have the mechanism that combined philanthropy, community, and friendship. Faith's solution was creating Social for Good, S4D for short. This testimonial by Amy Wilker, Director of CASA Programs, after working with Faith, says it all. I have no words to truly express my gratitude and astonishment at the overwhelming generosity of your group. This is just the beginning of something to call their own, and I cannot wait to see the impact on the children we serve. S4G's impact on the community is far-reaching and innovative. Their collaborative approaches in pursuit of better outcomes truly represents the goals of this regional award. The following is a list of nonprofits who have benefited from S4G's projects just in the last 3 years. Food for Others, Fairfax Diapers, Women Giving Back, Second Story, VPC Hyperthermia Center, Life with Cancer, Windward Foundation, Bras, the Lamb Center, Fairfax County Public Schools, Family Pass, Shelter House, All Ages Read Together, Northern Virginia Family Services, Good Shepherd Housing, Helping Hungry Kids, Cornerstones, Friends of Guest House, Morgan's Message, Stop Child Abuse Now of Northern, Renewed Hope, and probably many, many more organizations. Faith has and continues to work tirelessly to bring community together. One of Faith's rules is no politics, no religion, just a group of women who want to forget their differences and remember their common ground and their common good. Ladies and gentlemen, Faith Bocher.
Thank you so much. I am greatly honored to receive this Regional Leadership Award. When I worked with Northern Virginia, when I worked with Leadership Fairfax in 2014 to organize this lunch, I never expected that I would be an honoree and that I would be in the company of so many organizations and leaders that I admire, personally support, and support through Social for Good. Thank you so much. I'm truly a lesson in what individuals can do when we follow our passion and invite others to join us. In my case, I invited other engaged women to build a community that would have fun and do a whole lot of good, hence Social for Good. I don't stand here alone. While this is an individual award, I am so unbelievably grateful to the women who met in my kitchen in 2019, have invited their friends to build a network of 180 engaged women across our county, and made our projects each and every month successful for the organizations that were just listed. The 25 nonprofits that we've worked with to date have opened their doors, shared their missions with our members, and showed us how we could personally make a difference in someone's life. $25 at a time, in-kind donations, or gently used clothing, whatever was needed that went directly to meet that critical need. My nomination by Stop Child Abuse Now really reflects our success and our recipe for making a difference every month. We educate our members. Stop Child Abuse Now came, they talked to us about children in the foster care system. They advanced the role of CASA in meeting those needs. We collaborated. Our goal was to satisfy the needs of teenagers and young children, but when we heard that newborns through 7 also needed our help, we collaborated with 2 local nonprofits and a local business to support all 230 children with something new to call their own or the much needed toiletries that each of the teens needed. We also supported businesses. We worked with the first Black-owned Black beauty supply store in Northern Virginia, NVS Beauty, to purchase natural hair products when we heard that those were especially needed by the teens we were supporting. And then what's also critical to our success is we added the personal element at our social event. Again, we like to have some fun, but we also really want to understand what's happening on the ground. SCAN came and told us extremely poignant stories about their work and the children they support. And one of our members' own daughters came and talked about her personal journey through foster care and the role CASA had played in making her life successful. Each and every month, we deploy this model. We ask our members to support the projects they're passionate about, and we collectively work together to make a difference. I thank you again for recognizing me for my leadership and Social for Good's impact on our community, and I look forward to working with many of the nonprofits on this call today in the future. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so very much for developing a creative solution and engaging others to deliver even greater impact. Your multiplier effect is being felt deep and wide, so thank you so very much. Our next award is the Small Business Leadership Award, presented to Paul Olson, Weird Brothers Coffee, right here in Herndon, where I am. The award is being presented by Danielle Scherf of Scherf Consulting, Leadership Fairfax Class of 2017. Danielle, take it away.
Thanks, Danny. I am so glad to be here this morning with all of these forces for good. It's really inspirational to hear everybody's stories, but I am especially glad to be here to present this award to Paul Olson. Like most of us, Paul is fueled by 2 things, coffee and community. If there's a need, he fills it with his heart and is motivated by helping others to succeed. If there's a need, Paul fills it. Paul takes pride in helping no matter how big or small the void is. If there's someone that he can see promise in, the offbeat, it's Paul. He can see promise in the grain of hope and chaos, the potential in the beginning and letting people grow in place. He will bring people together and make a team where one does not exist. He supports equitable opportunity for growth, mentoring, and teaching all the way. Paul's family and staff share that he believes that everyone has the potential to be tapped, and he teaches everyone he encounters to lead from where they are. This nomination was made by some of the people in the group that he serves, by the staff at Weird Brothers, his friends and family, and submitted by Jason Greenwald, his chief roaster, and by me. A lot of people came together to recognize this quiet, humble leader. In specific, Paul's contribution to the Northern Virginia area, to our community, has fallen into 3 categories: offering financial support, building capacity, and cultivating ability. The areas he has most notably served are children, veterans, and young adults with developmental disabilities. Paul embraces new opportunities and he creates them for others. He is endlessly collaborative and gives what he has, supporting the growth of small nonprofits, small businesses, and everyone around him. Paul promotes equity and empowers differently abled people. He's involved with 3 organizations that help neurodiverse young adults, finding meaningful opportunities for friendship and to learn the skills that they will need to move from school to work. This includes the Work Awareness and Transition Program, WAT, at Herndon High School, and Best Buddies International. The Best Buddies is a daily after-school program in Falls Church that creates opportunities for friendships and integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The Work Awareness and Transition program at Herndon High School has a similar mission. With its Brewing Independence initiative, Paul gives hours of enthusiastic training to high school students on how to work in a coffee shop. This year, he also donated a brewer and a grinder and all the coffee accoutrements so the students can run their own in-school coffee shop, and they could practice their work skills before moving into the community and into a job. This also provides them an opportunity to raise funds for this program. As a testament to the quality of the program and Mr. Olson's dedication to the mission, a current valued member of his staff at Weird Brothers has moved from that program and transitioned into full-time work at the roasting factory. Paul also created the coffee fundraising program, Coffee for Dollars, an effortless fundraiser for small groups, schools, and PTAs to raise money so that they can serve more children in our community with the work that they do. On a personal level, Paul is an enthusiastic supporter of Northern Virginia. He's involved in Little League and Scouts with his own family, and in Herndon High School and South Lake High School Sports Boosters and the Herndon High School Theater Boosters. While we know him as Paul, our weird brother, he was once known as Sergeant Olson of the U.S. Army. Since being medically discharged, Paul continues to empower those who support veterans, working with Fisher House that provides lodging for vets in need as they receive medical treatment. He also works with Save the Sheepdogs Foundation, who's dedicated to suicide prevention for veterans and first responders. Turning the profound loss and personal tragedy of losing his brother Kenny, Paul supported the Chris Atwood Foundation. This foundation provides addiction recovery and awareness. Creating the Recovery Roast and the branded label for the CAF, he donated this to the foundation for their fundraising. Paul empowers other small businesses through partnerships and collaboration, boosting exposure and expanding reach. This capacity building has been critical for their micro and small businesses as they weather the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and learning what it takes to stay in business at this time. Local business partnerships that he has been a part of include River Sea Chocolate, Brewers and Bars, Homegrown Power Yoga, CrossFit 286, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my profound pleasure to present this 2021 Small Business Award to my Herndon neighbor, Paul Olson of Weird Brothers Coffee. There he is.
Thank you very much. As I told quite a few people that this was a big surprise to me. I was not expecting this at all. So bear with me. I am not the greatest orator in the world, but I will say that I am very honored and very thankful for this award and this opportunity to be here to speak with all of you. In general, I can also say, that I understand completely that leadership is one of the greatest and hardest responsibilities that all of us in leadership positions do have. I've, obviously learned that it is not easy. I'm very thankful for my Army experience, learning from the beginning, all of the things that goes into being a good leader. And one of the primary things that I learned from the beginning is that being a leader is all about team building, and it is all about lifting people up, identifying people's strengths, working on their weaknesses, and building their confidence, and mentoring and coaching and teaching them in more ways than just being good at their job. Being able to look at the big picture and see the focus of what we do, and pay attention to everything that we do, because I tell all of my staff members, all my team members, we're in the creative coffee business, but the big secret is that's not our primary focus. We're in the people business. We are here to bring people together, because even before the pandemic, I know we've discussed this a little bit here today, and a lot of the issues that we've all have to deal with because of the pandemic. Even before then, we already had a kind of a wide-ranging mental health problem in our society and in our world. And I think that even that was one of the big things that was very important to me to really focus on and build a community environment with a coffee company that can bring people together to build a collaborative and supportive environment to get people out of isolation and bring them together and get them connected, and enhance those human connections. And I really hope that, we can continue doing this, even though, yes, we've been faced with many, many challenges. We've pivoted, we have adapted, we continue to do our best, to continue reaching out and doing those things, because, even when faced with adversity, if we just batten down the hatches, and worry about ourselves, then nothing gets fixed and nothing will get better. So I think it's even more important to step out and continue our collaborative mission, and community building. So again, thank you all very much.
That's fantastic. And Paul, as an Air Force veteran, it's not often that I get to say congratulations to an Army veteran, but thank you for your service, sir, and congratulations again. And I am a customer, so I'll see you in Herndon sometime soon. Our next award is the Trustee Leadership Award. It's a fantastic award. It's being presented today to Arvind Manocha, CEO of the Wolf Trap Foundation. This award is being presented by Bill Bowie, CEO of Sky Communications, and a director with the Reston Community Center. Bill, take it away.
Thanks, Danny. It's certainly an honor and a privilege to be able to do this. I was actually serving on the board of the Wolf Trap Foundation and the Associates Board when Arvind started his tenure. The Trustee Leadership Award recognizes a person who has demonstrated visionary leadership in the Northern Virginia community, an individual who willingly embraces new opportunities and takes innovative and collaborative approaches in pursuit of better outcomes. I cannot think of an individual that embodies this award more than my friend Arvind Manocha. Arvind, your nominators are the members of the infamous Wolf Trap Table 13, and they are all here to honor you today. Visionary, innovative, collaborative, brilliant, empathetic, and truly revolutionary, it is a rare indeed to have the opportunity to work with someone who embodies these ideals and who holds such a unique worldview, while at the same time has the ability to articulate his vision with such clarity that others immediately follow. Since arriving as the CEO at Wolf Trap in 2013, Arvind has viewed the park as the people's park and sees himself and the foundation as the keepers of this treasure. Because Wolf Trap is situated in a national park and is the only national park for the performing arts, he feels even more passionate about making Wolf Trap the best possible location for all people, all being emphasized. That includes performances, education, internships, opera training, and overall enlightening experiences. During his tenure, he has embraced and celebrated equity and diversity. Arvind has expanded programming extensively to appeal to a broader audience and to lift the image of Wolf Trap as a more contemporary venue. At the same time, he has worked to make their programs accessible to all. Arvind has demonstrated exceptional vision, innovation, and courage over the past 3 years by accepting and demonstrating the leadership in the face of the crippling pandemic. He was a leader, not just in his own organization, but in the industry, as they worked through possible scenarios, all while not knowing what, when, or how this pandemic would play out, or when in-person performances could resume. Arvind is exceptionally adept at dealing with the day-to-day while keeping a sharp eye on the future. And during this time of uncertainty, and as Wolf Trap was preparing to celebrate 50 years, Arvind rallied the foundation board and his senior staff to look at this time as one of the opportunities and to plan for the next 50 years. The results of his leadership were: one, he negotiated a new long-term agreement with the National Park Service that was creative and will allow for a richer partnership and will activate the park year-round. Two, he led an effort to reimagine the park and its amenities to provide a more enhanced and richer experience. Three, he embarked on an aggressive capital campaign to add amenities, upgrade the facilities, and grow the endowment for education, opera, staffing, and other opportunities. And 4, with the venue dark during COVID, Arvin was able to work with donors and staff to accelerate the first round of improvements that resulted in the first upgrade of the back of the house since the early 70s, expansion of the barns, and creation of beautiful year-round pavilions where tents once stood during the summer season. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing my dear friend, Arvin Minocha, for envisioning a brighter future for a national treasure and enriching our spirits with creativity and life. Congratulations, Arvin.
Thank you very much. Those were very kind words, Bill. It's a great honor. I'm very humbled. I want to thank Leadership Fairfax for this recognition and for recognizing so many incredible awardees, not just this year, but in many years going back, as someone said it earlier, almost 25. And of course, to Table 13 for the nomination. Thank you very much. What can I say? All of us who work at Wolf Trap, I think, feel a very special responsibility and privilege to be part of a national asset that starts and is rooted here in Northern Virginia. I have to say, winning an award like this is somewhat counterintuitive to me because I think of our team first and foremost. I work with an unbelievable team of colleagues, professionals in art and arts education, really second to none, who have demonstrated, particularly in these last 2 years of pandemic, a sense of dedication and responsibility that I think is somewhat unique in the live concert and live music business. And that includes also our colleagues at the National Park Service who work with us hand in glove to make the concept of Wolf Trap a reality. I want to also recognize and thank the incredible volunteers as well as our corporate and community partners. I've always maintained that Wolf Trap was created really to be something that was stewarded and managed and energized not by 1 or 2 impresarios or even a group of staff, but really by all who benefit and enjoy and care about Wolf Trap. And I wanted to give a special recognition to our unbelievable board of directors who really fuel all of our ambition, as well as our associates board, who help us in so many ways spread the word of Wolf Trap and help to make what is in some ways a somewhat non-intuitive concept a reality. When I say non-intuitive concept, I think I always go back to thinking about the fact that Wolf Trap was founded really as a community resource. We were set up as a 501c3 for very, very good and specific reasons. We like to think of ourselves not as a transactional destination, but as a resource for all who live in Northern Virginia and across the country. And it stems from a belief that life can be made better through art and arts education. And that in itself is not a new concept. I think we can go back thousands and thousands of years and see that human beings are wired to be together in celebration of music and dance and song and art. It is something that we have been doing in essentially the same way for thousands and thousands of years. And I think, the last 2 years here and across the country, we recognize just how important that primordial urge is because we were prevented from doing so. So of course, I think of Wolf Trap as a place where people can be together, where families and friends can join together, hopefully a place that helps make living in Northern Virginia a little bit better and helps contribute to our sense of society. And when I think about the fact that we were founded by a pioneer in education and women's empowerment and inclusivity, I think about all of the different educational ramifications and aspects of Wolf Trap Foundation, including, for example, our Wolf Trap Institute, which is rooted here in Fairfax, which has had Fairfax County Public Schools as our strongest and longest partner, but has spread over these last 45 years across the country and increasingly internationally, serving in almost every case children of tremendous need. And our goal and our belief is that arts education at an early age can help put all young children on equal footing. We aim to remove barriers. We aim to be accessible to all. We aim to have programs and protocols that allow young families to participate in the protocols and the processes of going to concerts and the joy and the excitement that comes with that, with very few barriers to entry. And we do think of ourselves as really carrying a very heavy responsibility. We work primarily with the National Park Service. The Park Service are the stewards of the fabric of our American culture. That is held in their management of, iconic great lands of our country, particularly out west, the monuments to all of our presidents across the country, the National Historic Registry. And in Wolf Trap, the creation of the National Park for the Performing Arts really was a recognition that creativity and artistry is part of the fabric of our culture. It is what makes Americans American. And by partnering with the Park Service and working with the community here of our supporters, partners, friends, and donors, we feel that we are part of that great tradition of helping to celebrate Americana. It is a wonderful responsibility. It is an incredible privilege, and to be recognized personally for having had the opportunity to be part of a timeless concept is truly very humbling. And I thank you very, very much.
Ivan, thank you so very much for all of your incredible work. Your legacy and impact will live on for generations to come. And on a personal note, as someone who's worked hard to create a new National American Latino Museum within the Smithsonian, I know how what you do is enriching to the very soul of our community. So thank you again for all you do. Our final award today is the COVID Hero Award presented to Rachna Krishnan, CEO of the Women's Center. Please welcome Susan Parr, Leadership Fairfax Class of 2018 of Fed Writers, to present the COVID-19 Hero Award. Take it away, Susan.
Thank you so much, Danny. It is my sincere honor to present the COVID-19 Hero Award to Rachna Krishnan today. As we all know, the challenges posed by COVID-19 for our nonprofit community may have seemed insurmountable. When public health officials were urging people to remain at home and limit their exposure, even to their loved ones, the struggles became increasingly more difficult for those experiencing mental health issues and domestic violence. Help seemed unattainable. Rachna took on the CEO role just weeks before the pandemic lockdown. She had to adjust all operations immediately so the center could continue delivering services that had suddenly become more critical for the Northern Virginia community. In Rachna's first year, the center experienced a dramatic demand for services. Over a 25% increase in community members requesting domestic violence services, as well as a 21% increase in requests for adolescent mental health counseling sessions. To better meet community needs, Rachna expanded services by launching adolescent mental health services. She funded this by securing a 3-year grant from the Virginia Healthcare Foundation to support the formalization of the center's adolescent mental health program, as well as a corporate grant from Uninet to support the launch of services. The $89,000 Virginia Healthcare Foundation grant and $30,000 Uninet grant allowed the center to take care of an additional 300 adolescents and provide an additional 2,300 counseling sessions. Under Rachna's leadership, the center successfully transitioned from a 100% office-based provider to a virtual operating model. Within a few weeks, remote telehealth counseling and advocacy services were implemented, as well as a patient portal, electronic charge slips, online credit card processing, remote provisions of billing, and many other back office functions. With the smooth and quick pivot to remote services and the flexibility afforded by telemedicine, the center's income picked up, exceeding budget expectations. In the year of unprecedented uncertainty, Rachna's business acumen drove immense success for the center, increasing revenue by 18%, donations by 15%, and client clinical service hours by 13%. Much of what Rachna did in those initial months wasn't sexy. It was vital to the health and well-being of the clients of Women's Center Services. Vision, courage, and inspiration were words used by Rashna's nominator, Anna, to describe her spirit. Vision to make a case to non-traditional funders such as Major League Baseball and the Dominion Guild of McLean that provided over 2,000 additional counseling sessions. Courage to believe she would find a way to provide more services and raise the money to do so. And inspiration through community service, which is an integral part of Rashna's core values. Business savvy and a huge heart makes her work appear effortless. Rashna has dedicated her life to serving others in the community and serves as a shining example to others. Again, it is my honor to present the COVID-19 Hero Award to Rashna Krishnan.
Susan, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I want to start by saying I am honored and inspired to be amongst such dedicated local leaders that truly want to impact the community. I always say that the pandemic impacted all of us, but it did not impact all of us equally. We know that the pandemic really truly impacted women and women of color more so than any other community. And as such, as Susan mentioned, we did have to pivot our services. We launched that adolescent mental health services. We are recruiting more therapists of color. We have women of color support groups. And, you know, there's so much that we've had to do to work in the pandemic. But I really and truly have to say that it is the work of the team at the Women's Center that allowed us to pivot. It was the leadership team. It was all the therapists. It was the billing team. It was every single person at the Women's Center and their passion to serve the community and their dedication, long hours, and hard work that allowed us to pivot. And I think so much of the credit goes to the Fairfax community as well. It has been an amazingly supportive community from donors and sponsorships and resources. It's a, Fairfax County, this is my first foray into a true nonprofit. And I am so impressed with everyone on this call, on this Zoom, and honestly, just the support that I feel and experience in my work across Fairfax County and across the region, to be honest. And just thank you so much for this award and this honor. And it truly takes a village. And I'm so proud and so thankful to be amongst all of you and the staff at the Women's Center. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashna, and to all of your staff and volunteers at the Women's Center for staying the course and for helping our most vulnerable populations. Congratulations to all of the awardees today. And thanks so much for all you do in our region, in our county, and making sure that we continue to thrive and be successful. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I really appreciate all of your support for Leadership Fairfax and all we do. And I'm going to turn it over to our President and CEO, Cameron Cleveland. Thanks very much, everyone.
Great. Thanks so much, Danny. Really appreciate it. Excuse me. And I'd like to add my congratulations to all of the honorees today. So deserving, and we're just so humbled to be able to be here and to be able to honor you in some small way. Just want to remind everyone that we are getting ready. We're recruiting for next year's class already. And with God willing, we will be in person next year, that we will learn how to live with COVID if it's going to be here forever. But we're looking forward to being back in person. So think about who within your ranks are people that you want to help raise up even more and give them this opportunity to learn and grow as a leader so they can give back to our community as well. Also like to just thank our sponsors again. As you know, those of you that have been through our programs, we could not do it without sponsors that support us throughout the year. So thank you again. Wow. And I am going to stop sharing my screen for a minute just so I can see more faces here, because if I could do that. because it is such a thrill to be able to see so many of you. And I have been flooded with texts and emails while we've been on this from people who something came up or they wish they could be here and asked me to extend their congratulations to all of you. I think Rashna said it's a village. We know that we have created a sense of community of leaders and welcome everyone under our tent. So thank you again. Keep doing the great work that you're doing out in the community, and we look forward to seeing you over the next year. Thank you.
Our volunteer drivers are more than just drivers.
MV Rides makes it so I do not have to depend on friends or family. I can be independent.
So you really do form friendships with the people you're supporting. So it's not just a client-driver relationship.
They are my guardian angels.
NV Rides was initiated in 2014, and it was a response to a growing concern for seniors in Fairfax County who wished to age in place but faced not a lot of options for transportation if they were no longer driving. To help non-driving seniors get to their medical appointments or get to the grocery store to access food. And there were many volunteer driver organizations that were operating within the region. However, they did not have a lot of coordination between each group, and the idea was to create a coordinated hub for these types of programs.
NV Rides is our mothership. They help us with DMV checks and criminal background. They pay for each driver to get that background check. They set up guidelines that we should be aware of, like having insurance for our secondary insurance.
NV Rides provide the software support for us. They provide marketing support for us. They help us recruit new drivers, and they look for opportunities for us to serve more. So it works both ways, but they are very supportive of us, and we appreciate it.
Oh, Ride Scheduler is wonderful, and I hear from volunteers all the time that they love it too. I think it's great when I am able to offer a new potential volunteer driver the luxury of choosing a month out. If they were to go on vacation, they can now look in the Ride Scheduler and see, I really want to help somebody the week of September 1st. It's a really easy platform to use.
We go out to lunch and we have a wonderful lunch, a conversation, and that takes away a lot of that loneliness that I might have by not having anybody around. They're always on time, very dependable. I don't have to worry. They take the stress out of me of worrying.
I retired from my medical practice about 4 years ago. Unfortunately, I had to take away the licenses of some of my patients because they were unable to drive for medical or physical reasons. And so I knew that would be a very important thing for me to do. I've been a volunteer driver for about 4 years now.
It's been a lot of fun, and it's rewarding after you've done something nice for someone and they appreciate it.
I have developed great friendships and gotten the independence that I desire.
You know that you're doing good for people, that they need the support, and you know that they appreciate what you do. So you feel appreciated as well as satisfied that you're contributing to the good of the world.
They give it from their heart, and they feel like they're brothers and sisters and mothers and dads to me.